GrappleArts solo drills. He's got some good options for practicing it when you don't have a person to actually pass. So you've got the short knee cut, where he's just turning the knee in, keeping on both hands, like that. Then the more fulsome technique, where you're driving it through, you could do that. Or going into this kind of motion. Okay, so this is probably my favourite of the drills that Ritchie shows, like that. And then progressing from that, doing a more full-on knee cut, coming around. So the knee cut motion itself, this is where I deviate from Ritchie, would be you come in, you do your knee cut, so knee cut, and then I want to get around the leg, but first I want to drop my hip down to the mat, shuffle backwards, and then come around. So I'm going to do my knee cut, get my hip on the mat, shuffle backwards to push their knees out of the way, come around. So, knee cut, hip down, shuffle back, and around. Okay, so that would make more sense if I had a person here to do it on. I can vaguely show with the dummy, but it doesn't really make sense because there's no legs on this, but it does have hips at least. So, imagining there's some legs. I've passed the leg, hip is down, shuffle back to get their hips out the way, move into side control. Okay, so I'll show that again quickly. So the GrappleArts Ritchie Yip drills, first one was this short motion, then the drill like that, and then we can go for a full knee cut. And making that more realistic, you can do your knee cut. You could do it with the dummy if you wanted, but you've got a person. So I'm going to go knee cut, drop my hip down, hips back, turn to side control. So again, knee cut, drop my hips down, shove the hips back, side control. Knee cut, hips down, hips back, so that gets the legs out of the way. It's hard for them to then capture you back in. Side control. Does that make sense? You want to see that again?
Can I ask, when you're
Sure.
doing it,
Yep.
are you trying to get your foot past their leg as well, or is that hooking on?
Yeah, this is the difficulty of not having a person's leg to show it on. So if we imagine this arm is a leg, what I'm doing with the knee cut is when I come through, I'm pinning it with my leg.
Could you move just a bit back as a screen? Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, is that on? So, I'm here. So I've substitute leg, gone across it, and I'm pinning it with my shin. My toes are on the ground. You can be meaner on that, like drop your full weight onto it. I wouldn't recommend doing that with Jade. She's not going to be happy because that's quite painful on the arm. But you're trying to stop her leg being able to get back into guard. Pinning that in place. Once I've got that, then I'm going to slide across. So some people think it's just this. No, you need to slide your hip through like that. So that's why I'm then dropping my hip on the mat. So that having slid past their guard, then I push back so their legs come back in and then come through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool, nice, yeah. So sliding over Jade's leg, but also pinning it with your shin. Then you slide out that way, drop your hip to the mat, push the leg out the way, and now you're ready to take side control.
Okay.
Okay? So give that one a go.